Hello there, I am Dr Okolugbo. You're welcome to my YouTube channel where we'll be solving problems relating to business mathematics, business statistics, analysis for business decision, as well as other related topics. I want to encourage you as you go through these videos with me, you have your paper, your pen, and your calculator to solve these problems with me. Also, please do like, share, and subscribe so that you can receive notifications for upcoming videos that we'll be uploading. Thank you. Hello there. You're welcome to another lecture series on moments of a distribution. Before now, we've looked at data or raw data. Then we looked at raw data on group data with frequency. But in today's lecture, we are going to look at group data, finding the moments of group data. Let's look at what we have on the workboard. So follow me. Let's look at what we have on the workboard. Here we have the question, example 4, to compute the first 4 moments of the group data. We have age and frequency. Now, to find the moments of distribution, as I told you before, you must find the mean of distribution. Then we'll find a deviation from the mean, and then we'll now compute the degree of deviation from the mean. When it comes to group data, there are some slight variation or slight introduction in the process. So follow me as we look at that together. As usual, we will have our group given, and then we write out the group. We have 30 to 32, and we have 33 to 35, 36 to 38, 39 to 41, 42 to 45, 44 pardon, then 45 to 49. We now write our frequency, giving us 12, 9, 26, 40, 7, 15, and 11. You know, the first step is to calculate the mean of the distribution. We have to calculate the mean of the distribution. But to calculate the mean of the distribution, we cannot use the group data as given. We have to find the midpoint of the group. And the midpoint of the group will represent the value of x. So here we're going to write midpoint, which is x, the midpoint or the midpoint for the group. Now the midpoint is given as the summation of the lower limits of the class interval and the upper limit of the class interval divided by 2. In this case, we have 30 plus 32 will give us 62. So if we divide 62 by 2, we'll have 31. So this becomes the midpoint, which is the x value. We have 30 plus 32 divided by 2 will give us 31. We can do the same for each of these each of these classes, but we do not have to go through that stress. What we will do is that we'll find the value of the class interval, and then we add the value of the class interval to this midpoint to find the values for all the other midpoints. In this case, we have 3 as our class interval. We have 30, 31, and 32. 3, that's our class interval. Or you find the difference between the lower class limit of a previous class with the upper class limit of the current class. In this case, 35 minus 32 is 3. 38 minus 35 is 3. So 3 becomes the class interval. So what we do is to add 3 to 31, and we're going to have 34. If we have 3 again to 34, we have 37. If we have 3 to 37, we have 40. 3 to 41, we have 43, and here will be 46. You can check this the validity of these values, because if we add 42 to 44, we have 86. 86 divided by 2 will give us 43. So we are correct. So what you do, find the value of the first class mark or midpoint and add the class interval to each of them downwards. You will get the midpoint or the class mark, which forms your x value. So the next thing we do, as we've been doing in previous classes, is to find fx. Fx will be to have this times this, the frequency times the x point or the class mark. So let's do that quickly. 12 times 31, we have 372. I hope you are doing that on your own. 9 times 34, we have 306. The next one is 962. The next one is 1880. The next one is 645. And the last one is 506. So that's what we have as our fx. We'll now find the summation of the fx. Why are we looking for the summation of the fx? Why? Thank you. It's because we need to find the mean of the distribution. And the mean of the distribution is given as summation fx divided by summation f. And can you quickly add the summation of fx here? Can you do that quickly on your own? What I have here is 4,671. Is that what you got? Okay, thank you. Then the summation of f here, sum f value, and what we have here is 120. 120. So if to find the mean, it will be 4671 divided by 120. What's your answer? Can you do this on your own? Okay, what we have as our answer is 38.93. I have left my answer in 2 decimal places so that when I find my deviation from the mean, it will result in 0. Okay, let's now, what's the next thing we do? We'll now find the deviation. Now, because we're having group data, the formula for deviation will be slightly changed. Now look at the formula I'm going to give you for the deviation. In this case, deviation will be x minus x bar all over class interval. X minus x bar all over class interval. So this will be 31 minus 38.93 all over, what's our class interval here? 3. Thank you. We have 3. We'll find the value to this. The next one is to have 34 minus 38.93 all over 3. We'll find the answer to that. Next one is 37 minus 38.93 all over 3. We'll find the answer to that. The next one is 40 minus 38.93 all over 3. We'll find the answer to that. The next one is 43 minus 38.93 all over 3. We'll find the answer to that. And the last one is 46 minus 38.93 all over 3. Now, you will notice that when I was writing out my classes represented by age here, I made some gaps. The reason for these gaps is because of these computations I will need to do. So take note of that on your own when you're solving this problem. So now let's find the answer to the deviation. Here, the first one, please do get along with me. What I have is minus 2.64. The next one is minus 1.64. The next one is minus 0.64. The next one is 0.36. The next one is 1.36. And last one is 2.36. This makes sense. Makes sense in terms of the value of the deviation. The next thing we'll do, after finding the deviation, what do? We'll now find the first degree of deviation. And what is the first degree of deviation? Thank you. That is F times D. That is FD. We have FD here. FD. So that will be this value multiplied by these values. The values of F multiplied by the values of D. Can you do that along with me very quickly with your calculators? Now, the answer you should have is 31.68. The next one is minus 14.76. The next one is minus 16.64. The next one is 16.92. The next one is 20.40. The next one is 25.96. That's what we have as our first degree of deviation. We've got that. The next thing we'll do is to find the second degree of deviation. The second degree of deviation is what? Fd raised to power 2. So we have Fd raised to power 2. And how do we get Fd raised to power 2? That will be your value of D, that is these values of D multiplied by the value of Fd. So can you do that quickly on your own? Follow me as I fill up the gaps. The first one should be 83.64. The next one is 24.21. The next one is 10.65. The next one is 6.09. The next one is 27.74. Then we have 61.27. 61.27. Is that what you got? All right, thank you. Let's look at, we want to look for the third degree of deviation. That is Fd raised to power 3. I'm going to move to the other side of the board so that you can follow. All right, so what we have now is to multiply the value of D times the value of Fd raised to power 2 to get Fd raised to power 3. The value of D times the value of Fd raised to power 2. And what we have is minus, the first one is minus 220.81. Then we have minus 39.70. We have minus 6.82. We have 2.19. Then we have 37.73. Then we have 144.60. That's our third degree of deviation. Then we'll now go to the last one, which is our fourth degree of deviation, Fd raised to power 4. Fd raised to power 4. How do we get Fd raised to power 4? We have to multiply the value of D here against the values of FD raised to power 3. I trust you are following. Please use your calculators to confirm these figures. Now we have the first one here should be 582.94. The next one should be 65.11. The next one is 4.37. The next one is 0.79. Hope you are following. The next one is 51.31. Then the last one is 341.26. So 341.26. What's the next thing we do? Yes, we now calculate the summation of the deviations, the degrees of deviation. What do we do? What's your answer for this one? What you should have should be what? 0. Thank you. It should be 0. Whatever decimals you have beyond that, you can ignore. That's 0. The next, the summation of this, please do that quickly. What you should have is 213.60. That's what you should have. Then the next one, if you sum this up, it should be minus 82.81. Then the last summation will give you 1045.78. So that's what we have as our summation of our degrees of deviation. What's the next thing we do to round up this class is to find the moments. I will need some space, but I'm going to manage this side of the board to find the moment. So I'll come up here and put the moments. Now, to find the moments of moments about the mean of a distribution for group data, our formula will slightly change. And the formula is given as the first moment is given as, please look up, you have summation FD, are you following? All over n times the class size. Summation FD all over n times the class size. So that will give us, what would that give us? Let me write it here. So what is summation FD? Summation FD is 0. So, no, let me put it here. So we have 0 all over, what's our n? 120 times 3 will give us 0. Remember, n is the sum of frequency, so that gives us 0. Now the second moment, I'll write it here, will be, what will be the second moment? What will be the formula? Okay, that will be summation FD raised to power 2 all over n times c. And what would that give us? This will be 213.6 all over 120 times 3. What's the answer? Please do that. What do you have? Okay, what I have here is 5.34. 5.34. The next one is the third moment. The third moment will be summation FD raised to power 3 all over n times c. Okay, summation FD, that means that will be minus 82.81 all over 120 times 3. Can you do that? What's your answer? According to our solution here, we have minus 2.07. It means that this distribution is negatively skewed. It's negatively skewed. Now the last moment is the mu 4, subscript 4, which is given as summation fd raised to power 4 all over n times c. What would that give us? That's going to give us 1045.78 all over 120 times 3. Okay? And what is your answer? What we have here is 26.15. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, this is the solution to the problem we have, looking for the first 4 moments of a group data. Take note of the slight changes we have introduced in our formula to find deviation from the mean. Then also the introduction of class mark or the class interval in the formula for finding the moment. Please drop a comment or 2 on the comment section of this video, and you can also share. Thank you very much.